Hey there, this is your pal Server Tyrant. Normally, when I'm playing my games on stream, I'm listening to them through these beautiful little speakers, the Yamaha YST-M15s. Now, these are awesome little speakers, to be honest with you. I mean, but they're not new by any means. You can tell by obviously the color. But very few speakers I've encountered actually come close to the quality of these. And unfortunately, this one stopped making sound not too long ago. And this is the main driver unit, so all the guts are in this one. I'm pretty sure the other one's completely passive, but I'll check on that too. But I think we're gonna go through fixing this little guy together. Why not? I mean, I have been working on electronics since I was a little kid, so we can work on this together. We can pull out a cap or two, probably test it with an ESR meter. I'm sure we'll probably find something bad, and hopefully I have the values in stock. I do actually have quite a few components that I keep in stock, and we'll see we'll see where it goes. Okay, I got a little bit ahead of myself here, so you'll have to bear with me here. So I did take these four screws out. So there's one here, one there, one here, and with those, this will come out. You want to be careful here. It's two more screws, one here that we're going to take out. It'd be awesome if I had a camera that gave me like a POV, but this is what we got right now. So this more than likely just holds this into the housing here. Yep, there we go. Set that aside. So interestingly, I'm just going to take this connector off because I want to. Anyway, I'm going to disconnect that in a second. So actually everything looks pretty good. Nothing looks swollen. I know it's kind of hard to see on the screen there. I really plan to get a better camera when I can. You guys deserve better than that. But everything looks pretty good. All right. I'm going to take this off as well. Just separate the PCBs completely from the housing here. All right. Everything looks okay there too. All right, and with a little bit of YouTube magic, I have the speaker part, actually the driver anyway, separated from the circuit boards here. And I guess really the best thing to do is we're just gonna go through and replace all these capacitors right here. I checked my stock and I have the values, so I'm gonna get my desoldering gun, which will make a lot quicker work of this, and we'll get started. Okay, and a little more YouTube magic. Uh, These are our replacement capacitors. This is my handy dandy desoldering gun. And that's my cheerleader in the background, who obviously loves this. I just grabbed myself a little tube of flux here that helps keep it helps solder flow better. And the funny thing is most of these are marked on the back, so just gonna start by removing the small ones because it's just easier. That way you don't I like to work on one value at a time just because it keeps me from getting too mixed up when I'm putting them back. Anyway. You can actually see how quickly this thing takes care of it. Here. All right, so that's one capacitor done. And then just give it a little wiggle. And then pops right out of place. We're going to do the same thing a couple more times. This one's going to need a little more manipulation. It'll come out just fine. There we go. So it's always good to keep a little handy dandy pair of nippers around because you never know. You might need it just to like help grab things because they're a lot smaller than my fingertips or yours, even probably. Gonna try and make this a little bit this part a little faster. I mean, I guess I could always fast forward it. All right, guys, and with a little bit of YouTube magic, all the capacitors are now out, and you can see them. They're all right over here now, right next to my handy dandy flux. And now I'm gonna use my new stock of capacitors to replace the old ones. And we're just gonna make sure that everything's polarized correctly. Thankfully, this particular circuit board is marked. You can kind of see it. Sorry. Help me get a new camera. Like and subscribe. Watch my crappy video. Thank you. Anyway, so we're gonna solder new ones in. Got them right here. So for example, that gun's still on, so I need to be careful. Just package. It's a safety feature for dumb people like me. Anyway, so the new ones are gonna go in just like this. I'm gonna make sure I put the right value in the right spot, obviously. So I'm sorry, you guys can't see that. So they're just gonna go right in there. You can see the legs poking through on the other side. And I'm gonna solder them in nice and secure. And then I'm gonna put it all back together and we're probably gonna have a working set of speakers again. Now for the fun part, which is soldering in the new capacitors. It's a pretty simple procedure. You just Put them through, bend the legs. Make sure that you're putting the right value in the right place. In this case, I am. One leg. Looks good. Take your nippers and go dink. Flying. I'll find that later. Go. First one. Just gonna do the big guys first since I only have 3 of those. Always want to make sure to line up the polarization. It's like super important because if it's hooked up backwards and you send power through it, not gonna have a good time more than likely. And we still have some flux left over from the board from when I took these off, so still in pretty good shape with that. Trimming the legs of that one. Work on better lighting for next time. This one's a little different. This one's pointed. I mean, well, it follows the markings just the same. It's just pointed differently than the other two. And when I'm putting these through, I actually bend the legs over just so they stay in place when they're upside down. Makes it easier to manipulate. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Was the big boys there? And the rest was just smaller guys. Same procedure. That's a lifted pad. That's a problem there. Right. Just have to be really careful about this one then. That is something I do forget sometimes with these older boards is sometimes the pads can be a little, well, delicate. We actually had little vias laminate a little bit. They're still attached. Once we're done here, this really matters. Definitely something to keep in mind of. Just be really careful with that area. Everything else seems to have delaminated though. But that's the way these things go, you know. Sometimes looks good, but these are old, these are old things. Nothing really lasts forever, but you can definitely prolong it. See, I'm down to my last two. And then I get to put it all back together and test it. We'll see if I just wasted a bunch of supplies or what. Because I didn't test it with an ESR meter like I said I was going to in the beginning. Because my meter didn't have a battery in it. And I'm too impatient to go out and get a battery and start working because I just wanted to get this done. So we are now. All right, and that's our last one right there. So far with this one, it's been mostly straightforward, no real surprises. Um, Lifted two pads. That could just be it could be me. It could just be part of the manufacturing, just being cheap. I probably could avoid that later by using a lower temperature, but just gonna double check and make sure that everything's pointed the right way. Sorry for that scraping noise there. Looks good. Looks good. Yep, good. In the right direction there. Yep. 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 All right. I feel like I can put this back together and plug it in and without catching fire. Let's go. I'm going to clean up my soldering equipment here first, though. And that's what we have YouTube Magic for. All right. Well, that's the speaker reassembled anyway. Um, Plug it into something, give it a test. And why not just something from my computer itself? All right, now's the moment of truth. Let's power it on. Okay. Something. See if it makes any noise. Oh Oh shoot, here it is. All right, so quick update. It's working perfectly. I am 100% positive that this is now exactly what it needs to be. Anyway, I'm happy. Yay! Oh my gosh, that's great. I wish you could hear this. Maybe you can, but not quite the same.